How'd you like to add an additional $50,000 a month to your revenue with email marketing? Well, I'm about to show you how. The thing is, even if you have a small email list, if you only have a few thousand subscribers or 10,000 subscribers, you should be able to do this. It all comes down to nailing a few things. So what most people don't realize is that if you have an email list, like I said, any size, doesn't matter what it is, you are probably underutilizing this asset. What you have to understand is that every single person who's on this list is a real person. They have problems, they have hopes, desires, dreams, they have transformations they want to make, they have problems they want to solve, they want to buy outcomes in their life. So your products are the vehicles for them to achieve those outcomes. If you want to get to $50,000 a month, this is a very simple math equation. There's three things that you got to think about. You got to think about the number of customers that you can convert, the average order value or how much money they spend, the AOV, the amount of money that they spend per purchase. And then the third thing is the frequency of purchase. How often do people make a buying decision? Now, most people that I work with, they don't even know what these numbers are. They don't know what these numbers could be or should be. They literally have no idea. They're not tracking anything in their business. So obviously they have no idea. And one of the first things I do, if someone says I want to add $50,000 a month in revenue, I say, okay, well, how are we going to make that happen? What are we going to sell? Which offers? How much are those offers? What is the average order value of those offers? A really easy way to think about this is in monetary units. So for example, let's say you have a digital product business or you're a coach or a consultant or something like that. Let's just use that example. If you want to get to $50,000 a month from email or add $50,000 a month in email, let's say you have a $1,000 offer. That would mean you need $50,000 units on a monthly basis. Now, of course, if your product or offer is $2,000, that means you need 25. So if your product is $500, $495, $497, whatever, something like that, that would mean you need to sell 100 units of that product on a monthly basis. When people hear this, they say, wow, that sounds like a lot. And it might be, depending on what's going on in your business, depending on the existing list size that you have and the promotional assets that you have, but it also might not be that difficult. Because here's the thing. If you start with the unit economics in mind, and let's say you have that $500 product and you need to get 100 sales, what you're also not factoring into this equation is that there's opportunities for upsells. For example, I have some programs that are $1,000 where we will have a $2,500 upsell. Now, obviously, we don't get a ton of people taking these upsells, but if you get 3 people to take an upsell, that's an extra $7,500 just from that one offer alone. So if you have a $1,000 offer, that's an extra 7.5 monetary units that you are adding to your average order value just from a single promotion. The other factor that you have to think about when you're doing all this is how many different offers do you have? If you only have one course or one program or one offer it might be a little bit difficult to hit $50,000 a month if you only have one thing, because you have to think about how are you going to promote this? Are you going to promote this course, let's just say, as an evergreen thing where it's open every day, where someone can buy every single day? In some markets that might make sense depending on what the product is, right? If it is an amazing offer that is very easy to sell, then yeah, keep it evergreen, keep it open, and what you're going to do is just increase your email frequency to get there. But another strategy that's really good, something that I've been using a lot in my own business, something I do a lot with my clients, is we have cohort-based launches where we have offers that are only open certain periods of time. For example, let's say your $495 course, maybe you only open it once a quarter, right? So what you can do is you can compress a lot of sales into a very short amount of time and drive up a bunch of revenue. So you might be able to get 100 sales with a $495 course in a week. And if you do that in month 1, let's say it's January of 2025, you do that. In February of 2025, you could do the same kind of promotion where you're opening and closing an offer with product B, with another product. Maybe that's a $1,000 course or a $2,000 course or a $300 course. So you're going to do a promotion, you're going to open it and you're going to close it. And then you're going to compress a bunch of sales in a very short amount of time. And then in the third month, in March, you are going to do that with product C, a different offer, right? So you have an opportunity to now do these structured launches on a monthly basis where you're going to drive a ton of sales, where there's going to be a ton of built-in urgency and scarcity, and you're going to be able to compress a lot of revenue in a very short amount of time. The other thing that's going to help you get there is by upping your email frequency before you ever even start thinking about doing any of these launches. The thing that I recommend with all my clients is that they email daily, every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Sounds crazy. A lot of people say, whoa, that's way too much, but it's not. Because the thing is, people will forget about you if you are not emailing daily. They got a lot going on in their lives. They got a lot of emails. They see a lot of pieces of media as they're scrolling through their timelines every single day. They got stuff on their mind. They will forget that you exist if you do not stay in contact with them. So even if I'm doing deadline-driven promotions on a monthly basis and kind of cycling through offers with that structure, I'm still emailing every single day in between to keep people warm, to start pre-selling them for the next thing that I want to sell. And when you do this and you commit to emailing daily, build a much stronger bond with your people. Because again, what you're doing is you are forming a habit in your customer's mind. If you are sending an email every single day, there's a large percentage of people who are going to read every single email that you send. And then there's also another subset of people who are on your list who might not read every single email, but they'll read most of the emails, or maybe they'll read half of your emails. Now, those subsets of the list, if we're thinking about this from like a list analysis perspective, like those people are going to still behave the same way, whether you send 7 emails a week or 1 email a week, right? So if you think about the frequency of touch points, when you increase the frequency of touch points that you have with your audience, you are naturally just going to sell more. Even if you kind of suck at email, just by sending more emails, you're going to sell more stuff. So if you know that you have some people who only read half the messages that you send, and you only send 1 email a week, that means they're only really reading 2 emails a month versus reading 12 emails a month or 15 emails a month if you're emailing every single day. So you got to know your AOV, right? Because I talked to a lot of people, they have a $20 offer. And I said, you know how many units you have to sell of a $20 thing in order to get to $50,000 a month? It's a lot. So maybe you need to raise your prices, maybe you need to launch a new offer, you need to restructure an offer, you need to add coaching or consulting or some kind of extra benefits that can 10x the value. But it's very hard to do this with low average order value products. And the second thing is you're going to have to increase that email frequency. Third thing that I mentioned was you're going to need to use one-click upsells. I use ThriveCart. That's my shopping cart of choice. There's a lot of them. They have a great upsell builder, but I'll put anywhere from 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 upsells into a funnel. And these things will absolutely change the unit economics of what you are selling. Again, even if you have very small take rates on these upsells, maybe you have an upsell that converts at 1%, but if it adds thousands of dollars of revenue to your bottom line, who cares what the percentage is? The other thing that you're going to have to consider here is that as you're building to get to $50,000 a month, your list is going to need fresh blood. It's going to need new people. You're going to have to continuously focus on traffic. Now, traffic can come from a few different sources. I like ads. I like paying for traffic. I like putting $1 into an ad network like Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, whatever, getting subscribers, and then selling them something that recoups the ad spend and then has profit left over, right? That's one thing you can do. Another thing you do is social content, right? So maybe you're posting a video every single day. Maybe you're posting 2 videos a day. Maybe you're doing long form YouTube. Maybe you're doing LinkedIn posts or Facebook posts, or you're blogging or whatever it is, guest posts. It doesn't really matter. But you have to do something every day that's constantly going to grow your list, because one of the easiest ways to increase your revenue and get to that $50,000 a month is by continuously adding new people into the funnel. And this is something you're going to have to do throughout the lifetime of your business, because you might find that with your existing list size, you might be able to hit a $50,000 a month from email this month. You might be able to do it. But the thing is, if you don't continuously add new people to the list, you're going to have attrition. You're going to have people who unsubscribe from your emails. It doesn't matter how good your emails are, you're going to have people unsubscribe. You're going to have attention attrition, which means over time, even if people stay on the list, they will stop opening and reading. And usually it's a small percentage of people, but even if it's 1 or 2 or 3% of people every single month that are churning out because they're just, people move, a family member gets sick. There's always people kind of falling out of interest and falling out of paying attention with your brand. You need to continuously have lead velocity, so you are replacing all of those people at a greater rate than you're losing them. Another way to continuously fill the funnel and get people onto your list that you can sell to is using affiliates. So you have paid traffic, you have organic traffic, and you have affiliates. So who are other people in your network who have complementary, non-competitive businesses who could send you traffic and send you customers? And obviously you only pay them after a sale is made. So if you're using all 3 of these methods for traffic, if you were emailing every single day and then you were doing either you have evergreen offers that are very easy to sell and you know that you could sell them without much struggle every single time you send an email, or you are using opens and closes with launch style promotions, you can set yourself up for success and get to $50,000 a month. What you have to understand is that it takes a little bit of work, right? Sending an email every day takes a little bit of work. Doing something to grow your list every day takes a little bit of work. These things take a little bit of work, but again, if you want to produce great revenue and great profit in your business, this is stuff that's actually worth doing, because you're building up an asset. You're building up a list that's going to pay you for the rest of your life. And it's simply a matter of just having a good ground game. It's simply a matter of just continuously showing up. If you are sending emails every day and you're posting stuff on social and or running ads and or running affiliate campaigns every day, and you have one-click upsells, you really don't have any excuse. I mean, yeah, you might have to practice, you might have to get better at writing, you might have to restructure your offers, play with the numbers, play with the pricing, but it's really not that difficult. It just takes frequency. The frequency is your friend, right? That is the thing that's going to get you there. The last tip that I'll leave you with is, once you get to a place where you have a number of different offers and you have a lot of good emails that you've written, like let's say you've written hundreds of emails over the last 2 years, you might have 750 emails that you've written in your list. You can go back and actually organize these emails into a spreadsheet by product A, product B, product C, in different tabs in your spreadsheet. And you can say, okay, I have 75 emails that I've written for product A. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and pick the 30 best emails that are evergreen and take them and put put them into an automated sequence. Now, here's where things get really cool. This means that you could market different offers to different segments of people on your list at the same time. So you could have promotions running concurrently. And I do this all the time. I have like 8 or 9 of these sequences in my business. I call them intent sequences, and they're great. So like obviously everyone knows about automation. You have a welcome sequence when people join, where you typically should, which introduces them to you, sells your product. But the next level up from that, the thing that's going to help you get to $50,000 a month is using these intent sequences. And the way you set them up is when someone clicks on a link. So let's say you're writing a daily email, you mention product name, that's not like the main focus of the email. If someone clicks that link for that product, it's going to add a tag to them. It's going to kick off an automation, and it's going to put them into a separate daily email sequence that's maybe 10, 20, 30 emails long with all the best emails you've ever written about that product, and it's going to automatically sell the product to them. I do these things all the time. They sell like crazy. They are so effective because, again, you're taking the best of the best emails that you've ever written for this product, and then you're just automating them and sending them to people who are obviously interested because they clicked on the link, and that's why they're called intent sequences. Someone has demonstrated intent. So what that allows you to do, let's go back to the promo calendar here. In month 1, if you're promoting product A, if 100 or 200 people click on a link in one of your emails that mentions product B, they can go through a sequence for product B while you're also promoting product A to a different segment of people, which means you're now making sales from both these products. And again, you could have 10 products, you could have 10 of these sequences going at one time. So like I said, this happens when you start emailing daily and you build up a folder of messaging assets that you could redeploy. Obviously, you could use them again as broadcasts later on, but they're really effective when you turn them into these intent sequences. So we have more traffic, we have more emails, we have one-click upsells, we have intent sequences, and more offers. It's not super complex, just takes a little work. You just got to do it. Let me know how it goes. Drop a comment for me.